Well, not my home internet. My home internet's actually great, but yours might really suck. And unless you sprouted nerdy wings overnight, you're not going to know why. Let me help you out. This is Wireless Signals 101 from Mr. Clean about your home wireless internet and what you can do to make it a little more better. Okay? This is the traditional perfect world model that everyone thought would happen when they invented 802.11g, which broadcasts at 2.4 gigahertz. Why is this important? Well, why do I need to know this? You don't, okay? This is just my nerdiness sharing. There's three non-overlapping broadcast channels, 1, 6, and 11, which accounted for good speeds and reliability. And in the perfect world of sharing your neighborhood with the frat house and the new people, and that was last name I don't know, called Blarg. Anyways, they all have independent channels, and the cell size is perfect, nobody overlaps, and everything's hunky-dory happiness, okay? This allows you to transmit at the wonderful speed of 54 megabits per second on your own internal network. Some home internet speeds are still less than that, okay? Now, this is the perfect world scenario, but today, with the advent of wireless internet access in everyone's home, this is actually what it will look like.
No! No! No!
Scary, right? That's exactly what it was in one of my old neighborhoods. Okay? No, these names are not relevant, but just to illustrate my point. I could walk around my neighborhood, and within anywhere from 15 to 50 yards outside of someone's house, I could still get internet access. Was I hacking their internet? No. I was doing a radio frequency scan because I was using the 2.4 gig spectrum in my home, and it stunk. Okay? Where I used to live. We had high density townhomes, and everybody and their dog had a wireless access point. Your out-of-the-box wireless access point from Best Buy or Wally World is going to attempt to make some intelligent decisions. It's going to scan the air, try to choose a channel that's not going to impact with anyone else, and it's going to adjust the transmit power. Well, if you ever get a hold of your own access point, you're probably going to bump up the power, thinking that full mo power equals mo faster. No, it is not true, okay? More power just increases the cell size that you're going to be able to receive a wireless transmission, okay? What does this picture mean here? Well, channel contention. When you have someone speaking on the same channel, you're going to get drop packets, poor network connectivity, Netflix is going to buffer, you're going to want to smash face on keyboard, or other things like your children will be very upset with you because Wonder Pets isn't loading and Daddy and Mommy don't know why. So I get asked, Mr. Clean, what can I do to fix this? What can I do to make it better? I'm not a networking guy. I don't know anything about wireless. Well, let's give you a little bit of education here, give you some keywords to look at, and hopefully make your world a little better when it comes to wireless connectivity in your home. Recently, the 5 gigahertz spectrum was opened up for wireless connectivity. Now, we'll talk about channel width, but on the left-hand side of the screen here, when we talk about non-overlapping channels, there are 23. 23, not 3, 23. 23, not 3. Okay? It's wonderful. Now, that means that everyone in your neighborhood within rock throwing distance could have their own channel. They could be at full transmit power, and it wouldn't matter. Okay, because there's 23 non-overlapping channels. Did I mention there's 23? 23. Anyways, so why is it important to have a non-overlapping channel? Well, that means that there's no channel contention. Channel contention is like when you see two couples out in public and they're talking at the same time, having an argument, and you can't understand what's going on, and they have to constantly repeat themselves. That's what channel contention is. When you're on your own channel, you get to speak how often, where often you want, and no one's going to argue with you. So we talk about channel width in the 5 gig spectrum. Okay, width is compared to lanes of traffic, like on a highway. The more lanes you have, is the more faster you can go. All right. Now, it's not channels. You have to think of it as lanes. The wider the lanes, the more cars that can fit, the more traffic you can shove down that wireless signal at once, and the faster it will respond. Should I automatically just bump up to the 80 megahertz width and limit myself to 5 channels? If you're in an apartment complex, I would recommend not. I would recommend a smaller channel width to increase the channel diversity in your area to give yourself a better wireless signal. Now, if you're out in the middle of nowhere, yeah, bump that thing up. Give yourself the maximum throughput for your 5 gigahertz spectrum wireless signal. So as we look at this picture, we understand that even though we have some overlapping cells, everyone's got their own channel, and it doesn't matter what their transmit power is. Since I have my own channel, I can transmit as often and as fast as I want to within the technical limitations of that channel. So let's recap here. On the left side, 2.4 gigahertz, technically 802.11g, which is a very old technology. The latest standard is 802.11n. Well, there's still only 3 non-overlapping channels. Yeah, sad face. Okay. You can transmit anywhere from 1 megabit to 54 megabits of throughput. Right hand side of the screen, 5 gigahertz. One of the key words you'll see is dual band. Okay. And 802.11n or 802.11ac. 802.11ac is the current fastest standard available. Okay, but 802.11n does exist in the 5 gig spectrum as well. 802.11ac, which is the latest standard, allows you to transmit anywhere from 400 megabits per second to a theoretical of 6 gigabits per second of throughput. Okay. Is that what you're going to get at home? Probably not. 1.3 gig is actually the common expected throughput for a home wireless router that supports dual band 802.11ac. But Mr. Clean, does this mean that if I go out and buy a brand new fancy schmancy access point, is that going to make my internet faster? No. Will it allow you to connect to the internet faster and give you better wireless signal, give you a better wireless signal, improving your internet experience? Yes, it will help. But you still cannot oversubscribe the provider circuit and the dedicated bandwidth to that, which in our example here is 20 megabits. So you will be able to max out your services at 20 megabits. What's the key takeaway here? Some of the biggest things you're going to see when you go in to buy a new router or when you want to understand wireless connectivity is 802.11ac, 802.11n, and dual band. If it does not say dual band, it's going to be 2.4 or 5 gig. If you go 2.4, you're going to go back to the 10-year-old archaic technology with 3 non-overlapping channels. Did I mention there's only 3? And it's really going to stink. If you only go to 5 gig, you're going to eliminate legacy device support, such as my Samsung Smart TV in my home, which is only 4 years old, only supports 2.4 gig. Do I care? Not really, because I can do dual band and my iPhone and the Xbox and everything else that I really want to have great wireless connectivity does support the 5 gig spectrum. Okay, that allows me to transmit in both spectrums and have multiple non-overlapping channels. Okay, now if your access point's in the basement of your house and you're 6 floors up in your master suite and you realize, well, my internet's still kind of slow. The wireless speed at what a device transmits is related to the distance from the wireless access point. So if you're 100 yards away and you have a really weak signal, that's going to result in poor connectivity. If you're standing on the top of your access point, guess what? You're going to transmit at the maximum speed possible. Okay? So be aware of the distance from the access point. It's going to affect the speed at which you can transmit. But then why is going to faster technology or the latest wireless technology beneficial? Again, we're taking advantage of faster wireless communications, faster internal network communication. You get to maximize use of internet services, less possibility for channel contention, dropped packets, buffering. FaceTime's going to work more consistently. Your wireless communication with the outside world, you will have an improved internet experience. If you do anything inside your home with heavy data transfers, you're streaming music from a wireless hard drive, that's going to improve as well. Okay. Everyone takes turns when transmitting on wireless. Well, what does that mean? If you were to sit in a circle with all of your client devices and play spin the bottle, okay, no kissing. We're talking about wireless traffic here, okay? Keep your mind out of the gutter. And you spin that bottle. Every time the bottle points to a specific client device, they get a turn to transmit. And then they have to wait until the bottle comes back around and points at them again, and then they get to transmit and request traffic again. These turns happen in milliseconds. Okay? So when you have a wireless access point that supports 5 gigahertz spectrum, faster wireless technology, you'll get more turns to transmit. Each client device gets more turns, less buffering, okay? Less time waiting for acknowledgments and responses for traffic. One of the things I like to take advantage of in my home is devices like printers, or when I have a docking station for my laptop, I like to hardwire with Ethernet, either Cat5e or Cat6. This eliminates a client device from having to take turns on the wireless signal. Hopefully this has been beneficial. So next time that you go out and you go to Best Buy, you can impress the sales guy and knowing exactly what you want to ask for, 802.11n or AC dual band technology. You want to take advantage of the fastest wireless transmission possible in your home to improve your user experience, and your children will love you for it. This is Mr. Clean. Have a great day.